Oh, there you are. Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Butch. My name is Terry David Silvercloud. I'm 72 years old. I'm about to be 73. Today is the 7th of August, 2017. I'm in Vancouver. It's a hot, muggy day, and the sky is obscured by smoke from forest fires in the interior and northern states. So today, because I got nothing better to do at the moment, thought I'd make a video because I'm doing a test just using my webcam rather than my good camera. So I get to make a video and maybe I'll educate you. And here we go. So what am I going to talk about today? I'm an atheist. I, I I think religions are quite evil. So, like Christopher Hitchens used to like to tell we atheists, it's our obligation and duty to ridicule them as often as we can. I think religions are evil and dangerous. So if you think I'm ridiculing your religion or somebody's religion, I probably am. Freedom of speech. I plead freedom of speech. So one of the things that's really awful about people that are into religions is they know nothing about the history of their religion. They know nothing about their religious text because they just can't be bothered to read it. They uh, they go to church sometimes, or maybe knock off a prayer, or like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, he gives to 8 different churches just to cover his bets. So, what I wanted to talk to you today about is sons of God. Now, most Christians, I would think, I believe, it's my opinion, would consider the Old Testament and the New Testament to be a part of their religion. They consider both books to be an integral part of their religious beliefs. So, if it's in the Old Testament, they're into that too. And if it's in the New Testament, they get into that as well. Now, the thing about the New Testament is you have this Son of God guy, Jesus, and the whole big deal is he's the only begotten Son of God. Now, that's where I have issues. You see, this is a revised standard version of the Bible, the up to date translation. So I'm trying to be up to date. And I'd like to refer you to Genesis uh, chapter 6 and the flood. When men began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God, oops, sons of God, where'd they come from? Wait a minute, wasn't that supposed to be Jesus? Wait a minute, it says right here. It's in Genesis. Where was I? The sons of God saw that, and it's in capital letters too, saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not content with man forever, for he is mortal. God decided, and I'm going to come to that in a while ago, that these guys aren't going to be given immortality. It's bad enough they have artificial intelligence and are self-aware, but they're not going to be immortal. His days will be 120 years. So God programs the genetics for men to be 120 years. Meanwhile, back at Genesis 6, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward. We have no idea who the Nephilim were, but some beings called the Nephilim. Anyhow, carrying on. When the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them, oh, I got to read that from the start again. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. So the Nephilim were the men of renown. That's who they were, whoever they were. Anyhow, the Lord saw how great man's wickedness on the earth had become, and that was a long time ago, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil all the time. Men were evil. The Lord was grieved that he had made man on the earth, and his heart was filled with pain. So the Lord said, I will wipe mankind, whom I have created from the face of the earth, men and animals and creatures that move along the ground, and birds of the sky, for I am grieved that I have made them. but Noah found favor. That big mistake. The whole point of this video is to talk about the sons of God. There were sons of God before Jesus, and as an atheist, the only thing I can get out of the book of Genesis is that it's a record of some alien beings that were somehow immortal coming down here and messing with the life forms they found and creating Adam. And then because Adam was kind of lonely, Adam, it was just an aberration of the animal. There were lots of people on the earth. Read Genesis. The people were already there before Adam. If you really read your book, so they created Adam, and then they needed somebody to keep them company, and created Eve. And then because they were in this special location, they ate from some special type of tree, which made them self-aware. And at that point, God, whoever the God was, the extraterrestrial or whoever it was, said, "Oh, now they're like us. Now they are gods." And it says so right here in Genesis 3. Where'd it go? See, I lost it. Jeez, you should be ready, David. Oh, here it is. In Genesis 3:21, the Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. And the Lord God said, listen to this, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He's become self-aware. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So what God is worried about is that Adam might become immortal. So what he does about that is, so the Lord banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim, whatever they were, and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. So while there were sons of God running around and bonking the women and having a great time of it, and creating lots of children, and before Cain and Abel even, there were sons of God, and there were these Nephilim, whoever they were the heroes of old. And the reason that Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden is they became self-aware, and God, who seems to have been some kind of alien life form, didn't want them to become immortal. Somehow the aliens have figured out how to do that, and they're screwing around with human life at the time, screwed things up. But he saved Noah, and then eventually you have Abraham, who must have believed in some sort of one God idea, because he went to visit the priest called Melchizedek in Salem, which would be where Jerusalem is these days. There was a one God concept alive and well at the time of Abraham, and it was being preached by a dude who was called Melchizedek, and he was the king of Salem. This is all in the Bible. You should read it. It's really boring, the book, but then you realize just if you're into religion, you are cuckoo. And it's my right to say that. It's my duty to ridicule religion. I think they are horrifically evil. So this is my big test of using the webcam as video. I made a video. That's my opinion. You can hate me if you want. I don't give a flying F. So I'm old. That's what old people get to do. Study science. Get into science. We're just going to say bye-bye. Now I have to push this little button there.